Hello everyone and welcome to the Napping Mouse. My name is Bernice and in today's video I'm going to show you how I create 3 different kinds of book plate for this journal that we created a while ago. This here I'm going to show you, this is the more simpler version. This will be book plate number 1. And then also I've got 2 different ones here. This is going to be book plate number 2. And here we go with book plate number 3. Okay, I'm so excited that you're here. Now grab your favorite drink and let's get crafting. Okay, so the supplies that you're going to be needing are various scrap papers here in various color, various textures, and then also if you have some type of old book that you can go ahead and rip out the pages, that would be really nice. And then various types of ribbons. I've got this here glitter type ribbon, and also I've got lace here, and then some embellishments if you can find it. Some brads. I've got smaller brads here right there, and these are just for decorative pieces. And then if you wanted to use tulle, that would be nice. And then also get yourself some packaging, old packaging like this that we're going to recycle, that we can use it to make also book plates. And also I've got some flowers here. Okay, all right, let's get started. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm just going to grab some papers that I like. I'm going to start from the top all the way down and work my way down. Okay, so I'm thinking, what is the tallest that I want where the information is going to go? Like you can write journal, you can write explore, you can write travel, you know, anything that you want. But I just want to make sure that I've got enough to write that down. Now, this is a little bit big because since I'm going to stagger it and have like 2 or 3 colors behind it, then this is going to be a little big. So first, before I start cutting anything down, I want to see what size that I'm looking for. Okay, well, now this here on the back is about maybe, yeah, I'll say this is about the maximum width that I want, and I'm fine with the height. So just for reference, this here is 3.5 by 2. Okay, so let me write that down, because I can use this as a template instead of the actual thing. So 3.5 by 2 inches. Okay, perfect. Okay, and then this one here on the inside, and that I like it when it's 1/4 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch all the way around. This is 3 by 1.5. Okay, so I just took a 1/2 inch on each of them. So 3 inches by 1.5. Okay. So then what I can do, instead of like constantly having to measure and keep measuring, I could just use this as a template and just cut it. Now this one is just a little bit smaller than the actual size, but that's fine. I'm okay with that. So that could be like on the top. So we're going to put that on the very top. Now this will be my maximum right there that I can do it. So since I've got about, what is it, about 1/4 inch on around, I can actually put one more on the back if I wanted to add some color. Like, so for example, I can do something like this. Oh, wait, let's get this, and we can go ahead and cut it that small, and it would have that right there, that this nice color, which let's try that out and see how that works. If you want to ink the edges, you can go ahead and do that. That would give it a much more vintage and distressed look. So let me just do that. I'm just going to hold this carefully. Now, will this be enough? It should be enough for, and if it isn't enough, then I could trim everything down so everything is workable here. Okay, if you want to be precise, then I would use a trimmer. Other than that, this is fine. Okay. Okay, so I'll put that on with all of my scraps right there. Okay, now if you have a decorative punch, you can do that too. So I will show you what I mean. Not necessary, but it would look really nice. So I have these two favorite of mine that I always use pretty much in a lot of my videos. So, you know, make the most of what you have too. But this has been my go-to for such a long time. So I've got that right there. Oh, okay. And then I'm going to go and use my ticket punch. And come on. And punch that out. This one here is an old one from Stampin' Up. I mean, I've had this at least, oh my God, at least 10, if not 13 years. It's, yeah, been a while. But I just love it. I just think it's beautiful and I love it. Now, I have to admit, I'm not a fan of this edge here. So let's see if I could just fix it. Or if you have that and you want to make it more distressed, that would look nice. So far I like that right there. And I'm going to actually go ahead and glue that down, knowing that that's what I like and that's what I'm going to stick with. So let me get glue here. Liquid glue is great for this, but sometimes the hot glue gun or the hot glue would be much better because it'll stick fast and you don't have to wait for it to dry. Well, this one I should just... If you're using things like art glitter glue or really any of these PVA glues, they are water-based, or most of them are water-based, and they do have a tendency to warp the paper itself. So if you spread them out like that, it will prevent it from like all those like bubbles or like those warping to actually really show. Okay, so now that I've got that and I've yet used that, let's do another background because I still have a lot of room left over here. So let's find another background for this. And I do like the color. Now it doesn't, oh, that's kind of cool right there, how that one will work. All right, rip this up here. And I did like this thing here, but I will sacrifice that right there. So let's see. Now this is the one that I've been using for throughout this. I've, you know, added a lot of stuff here and, you know, done a lot of, used it more for like embellishing and all. Okay, so hey, okay, let's see. So not a fan of this here. Actually, I'll just use the scissors, so I'll cut that down here. Now, sometimes the paper will be a little too thin to hold on, especially if you're going to use it at the very, like this is going to be the base here. And then this is when you get something like this, and then you cover it, okay, and then it'll be nice and sturdy, and then you could put that on top. I could do that, yeah, that's gonna, you know, let's just go ahead and do that. But let's see, folding it over on the side is going to be a little bit tricky. So let me do this. I will actually cover this here. Okay. Whoa. Okay, let's get a good pencil here. Okay, I made that work. So that's a good thing. And I'm just going to cut the sides before I glue it down. Okay, that's trash. And then I could, if your paper is a little bit see-through, this isn't, so I don't have to worry about it. But just keep in mind, if it is a little bit see-through, then you want to work with this area right here, which is pretty much one color, instead of the back side over here where they can see the packaging. Okay, so let's put this down. Okay, whoops, getting glue all over the place. And then also when crafting, it is a good idea to have a wet towel. There we go. Perfect, perfect. Now in this case, I am going to miter the corners just so that it doesn't show when I'm folding it down, the paper's not going to move outwards. And I'll show you what I mean. Sometimes the paper will go like kind of, and then you got to trim it down. So if you do it beforehand, it makes it a lot easier. Now, art glitter glue normally is not this liquidy. I did add a little bit of water to it because I thought it was just a little bit too thick. And so that's why you're seeing it kind of coming, or how should I say it? It's kind of, it seems like it's leaking, but that's because I added water to it, okay? All right, so let's go again. Do I have my bone folder here? I do not, but I've got my chopstick, so my chopstick always works with me. Works well for me for everything. Okay, now I don't want this edge to show, so I will ink the edges, and I'm going to use the oh so favorite Distress Oxide that's in Vintage Photo. You can use another color too. That would be look really nice and you know, standing out, and it's different from the rest, and you made it your own. But you know, especially if you're using something like gold, I do love to use the Delicata a lot, which I still have. Let me show you. This kind of makes it look like a gilded edge. But yeah, that's a good one right there. But for now, I'm just going to do this. And let's see, should I go ahead and ink the edges here? Well, why not? Okay. Make it look distressed. Whoops. I just like to use regular sponges like this because it just, I don't know, the pores on it and everything kind of gives it a different touch. If you like to add, you lift this up a little bit, you can add some foam. Like I've got these foams right here from 3L Adhesive. I can go ahead and use these, or I can go ahead and use like a thicker cardboard or a part of a box or something. But I'm not going to do that with this. But what I do want to do is I'm going to make holes here on the side. So I'm going to glue this down first. And on the corner over here, I'm going to put holes or make some holes to add my brads. You don't have to add brads. If you don't have brads, consider using something different. Okay, like you can use office brads if you want to, or just take a marker. Just take one of your Sharpie markers or a different color marker and just make it like a little circle. It'll look like a brad without actually being one, okay? But before I glue this down, I want to add those brads, okay? So let me get my pokey stick and I'll be right back. Okay, so I found this bad boy right here. This is a really huge needle. Quite frankly, I'm not sure how to use it, but I bought it in a kit that came with the smaller needles that I needed. Now, I'm just going to wiggle myself through there, and you poke it through. Now, if you notice, I went ahead and I did mark my holes with the pencil before I went and I did this part. Now, be very careful when you do it the way I'm doing it here. Just trying to show you a different way that you can put it through, but you gotta be careful. And you know what, maybe if you have like a thumbtack, maybe that'll work too. I actually haven't tried it, but I just thought of it right now. Okay, so now I'm gonna get this, and then where's my handy dandy things? We are going to make a total of 3 today, so this will be the first one. Now I'm gonna take this here, let me put all this away. My craft table here is a mess, but I'm sure that that's everybody's craft table, or maybe 90% of you have this type of craft table. Someone told me that if your table is not messy, then you're just not crafting. Is that true? Do you agree with that? Okay, now that I put this one through, I'm gonna bend it to one side and then open it and then carefully bend it like that. Got that side. Can't really tell, it is subtle, but it is there, and I do like the way it matches with everything else. Okay, that one was an easier one. So I'm gonna separate these, what is it, tinge, prongs, I think they're called, I'm not sure. All right, so let me fix this here and put this through. Yeah, was working on those other projects because, you know, we're closer to the holidays, and now as at the time that I'm filming this, Halloween is going to be next Friday, which is, wow, that October is going by pretty fast. So, you know, soon everything else is going to be here. So yeah, that's why I stopped working on this traveler's journal right here, but I really wanted to finish, and I'll show you some examples that I have. I have a total of 4 of them that I created. There we go. These prongs, just so you know, and pretty much, I mean, prongs, excuse me, the brads, you can actually fold these in half, or like as an L shape or something, just so it could fit in. And now let's get the last one in. I try not to do that, only because, you know, I didn't want to add too much to my step here, but okay. Come on. Of course, this is the last one, and it's taking me the longest to do. That's not supposed to happen like that. Okay, and just be very careful. These small little ones, or pretty much any one of these brads, they're very pokey at the very end, so I don't want you to hurt yourself. I mean, if you want to not have it move, you can either tape it or glue it down and everything. We're going to glue this whole thing down, but you know how I am. I don't glue like towards the very edge. I glue like in the center over here, because if in the future I want to add, like, let's say, a doily or a leaf, or, you know, whatever, but I really like the way this is coming out. So I'm going to do 2 of them. I'm going to glue it here on the side like that, but I'm also going to add just a little bit of hot glue so that it could stay and not me having to put anything heavy down. All right, perfect. That's one right there. And I like the way that looks. Now, I know we went ahead and made this, and I already glued it down to our folder, but I do want to show you 2 other ones that you can do, and I could put it on top so you can see how it's going to look like. But yeah, there are other options, okay? All right, but I did like that. I love the way the color is. I love the way the blue and this kind of just stands out just a little bit. Well, I mean, everything else, this kind of looks like, at first I thought it was a green, but it was gold. So yeah, so that's that right there. But let's make our second one and see how that would look instead of putting this one down. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to be working on number 2, and we have a visitor here that you may see. Okay, Miss Jasmine loves to see what I'm doing, but we're going to work with number 2. Now, I've got this one here still, the 3 by 1.5, but I cut this one here down to, let me see, where's my ruler? Just for your reference, I mean, if it fits in your book, you're fine. 2.5 by 1. Okay, perfect. But I want this to be the template for the, where it's gonna say, so wait, 2.5 by 1. Okay, there we go. That is our template. So we can still use this here. This is one. This is one. Okay, so I'm going to use this as a template, and I will just cut this. So we're going to use this, and I think this is called Ecru. I still have this. It's from My Minds, or My Colors. So I still have that. Let me set this aside. So that'll be the inside. And you know what? I'm going to grab one of these, and I'm just going to round the corners just for aesthetics. You don't have to do this, but oops, that screwed that one up. Oh, did I really screw it up? I hope not. That's fine. Not a big deal. Okay, there we go. So I'm using this one from We Are Memory Keepers. So that's that right there. Oops, sorry to shake the table. Now you can do one of 2 things. You can have and I said that I was going to use this here. Now this is a recycled book here, so you can use the back for it. You can cut it nicely if you want to, but I like to have a little bit of the torn edges, so I'm going to use my metal ruler. My wood ruler doesn't work as well when I cut papers like this, like my metal ruler does. So that's why I prefer to use a metal ruler. But hey, if you have a wood ruler or a plastic one and it works for you, yeah, by all means, go ahead and use it. Okay, that's that right there. I can cover it like that. You know what? Let me see if I can tear this, because I want to have most of the writing as a background. Okay. So I've got that as the writing, and I can go, I'm going to glue it already onto this here. Oops. There we go. Jazz. Can you add, well, if you see a shadow, it's Jazz, okay? It is my kitty cat being curious again. All right, there we go. And now we're going to rip this guy here. And I'm just trying to see if I can get like a 1/4 of an edge on all 4 sides. And I'll put that back. Well, that's what I've got here. And, you know, if you want to, let's go ahead and ink the edges, because that's going to look really sweet. Okay, using the same one, the Distress Vintage. Oh, I'm sorry. I should turn on my light. I mean, it's really light in here in my room, but the overhead light helps out a lot. So yeah, there we go. And I've used that right there. Now another one of my favorites is this here. This is a handmade paper, and I mean, it's like almost like fabric. I love it. I think it's beautiful, and I just like to tear it just so I could show the fibers. Now look at that. That's just looks so organic, so natural. Let me see, is this folded? No, it doesn't look like it, but I'm gonna pull it. There we go. Look how sweet that looks. Now it doesn't have to go, you know, all the way. You can go and have it poke out a little bit like this, and then maybe have like some kind of flower, or hey, this may work really well. This one I had already done. Oh, look, but we don't want the clock to be upside down. That would look sweet. Look at that. Oh, love it, love it. I'm gonna do it like that. I am so gonna do it like that. Oh yes, and it's going to seep, the glue will seep through, because this fabric type of paper is really thin. I mean, yeah, you're talking fabric here, but you can still have it. Or if you want to, you can also like continue and just add to it. That'll look nice as well. Oh, look, time, and then like your why not? That'll look great like that. Let's see, do I have another color? I was going to love these. This is from Cavallini Company, and I still have some on my online store. So if you're interested in that, I'll have the link down below for that. Look how beautiful that is. That is really, I mean, even though you'll see the paper more when it's more contrast like this, but still that looks really, really nice. Like super nice. I mean, I could put the clock over here on this side, or I could just put this on that side like that, and it'll really balance it out, or even on the corner like that. That'll look nice. Now you don't want to make it too big, because you are working with a small space, okay? Or a predetermined space, let's say. Oh, sorry for shaking the camera there. Now I've got this here. That's beautiful, but I could use that maybe to make a card or something. Let's see. Oh wow, that is beautiful. Look, I like that. Even though, oh, that looks really nice. I did like that. Okay, we're gonna go with that. So then let's just get our pencil here. I'll show you what I'm doing, because you know, you can always have clutter in your space. So let's do that. So you can get your pencil and you can mark where it needs to be torn, okay? So we can go there, and I'll go here, and then later on I will tear to see. That'll look nice even like with the, oh, too bad that you can do it like that. It can actually poke out the circle over here and then the circle over here. But I still like this, so we're just going to go with this. Okay, so then the next thing that I'm going to do, I try to give you options, but I realize that sometimes it's just too much. So I will try to taper it down, like not give you like so much, or at least from one project. You know, I'll have time to show it on other projects too. Okay, let's see. I did like that, so I'm gonna tear this up here. You can cut it with the scissors if you like. Again, I'm looking for that ragged edge. Okay, and it doesn't have to be on all four sides. So, all right, okay, so let me do this. I'm gonna glue this down. Take that and that. I hope you like what you see here, and if you do, please give me a thumbs up, and also consider subscribing to my channel. We will be having a lot more, got a lot more projects coming up too. All right, so considering the time, I just didn't want it to be upside down, but I guess it could be this way or it could be this way here. So we'll just go with that. Now, let me see if my hot glue gun is ready to go, and it is. Okay, and we'll put this on the side like that. This will still give it enough space. Look at that. This will still give it enough space for you to write anything down there. You can write smaller stuff like explore or journey or what else. If you have any ideas, I would love to hear them. So post that down in the comments. And then since we're giving this a more rustic feel, a more vintage aged, we can go ahead and do this. Another thing that if you wanted to make it really, really aged, tear it up on the side like this, or try to see if you can fold it or curl it, or I mean, it really does look nice. If that's not your style, that's okay, you know, but if you do like it, yeah, just consider that. I kind of just use my nails here, but I guess you can use like the edge of your scissors like this, open it like this, and kind of let it, you know, just let it cut, let it like distress like that. If you see a rip, that's fine. If you want to rip it yourself or even more, when I see something like this, I usually go ahead and I curl it, or trying to curl it here, so it looks you know, not intentional, but it was just weathered through the ages of being passed down from generation to generation. So yeah, let me know what your favorite era is too. Like, do you prefer the 20s, or do you prefer the early 1900s, or do you prefer like the 60s or something like that? Yeah, let me know. Now, this was a little bit bigger than I intended, so I guess I can cut it down, but it would still fit. Oh, let's curl this up like that. It would still fit in this, for this particular journal here. Okay, now if you create this and you prefer this one, you know, save this for another project. You'll have one done and it'll be nice and quick. So that's project number 2. Now let's go ahead and work on project number 3. Okay, folks, so for book plate number 3, we are going to still use the same dimensions here because it keeps us safe within that parameters that we need to be. Now, I still want to use this as the top where you write the information of the book or the journal, but I like the way this came out. This is the one that we torn from the scrap here that we had. Like, I tore in the book pages on the side from the book, and then I tore it again so I could remove this part. But this makes it great little to add that to it. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. So let's see, I will do this, and let's see, you know what, fold it. Okay, there we go. Well, I don't know, I guess I prefer it straighter. I'm gonna keep the rough edges on the top and the bottom, but the edge here, the sides, I'll keep it straight like that, nice and sharp edge. I'll go ahead and ink this while I have it here. And the last time what we did is that we used this here, my favorite. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can sell some of this on my online store. So if I have some more, I'll go ahead and package them up and I'll sell it on my online store. Okay, the second thing is that since this will be the top, we have to create our base. We can use this as a template, or we can use it actually to cover it up. Okay, again, I'm still using this carte blanche, or from Cavallini Company, and I still have this on my online store, so I'll have that posted on the bottom. I'll have that link down below. Okay, so I'll use that. That looks really, really nice. Okay, now we haven't used anything like this yet, so if you wanted to use a lace as a background, or even in the middle, and I'll show you what I'm talking about, you can go ahead and do that. If you wanted to make it a little bit more, let's say that's a little bit too large, so let me cut this down a little bit, and I still have a lot of space left over, but I can put that in as the background here. So what I'm going to do, I still want that green to show, but I'll glue this down first, and then I know where to move forward to. Now, a great thing, a great scrap buster thing to have is create book plates and have them ready for your journals. They're fun to do. They're a great way to create. And even if you do like a mass make of the same exact design, but different papers, it'll still look really, really nice. Okay, now I could either do it like this or like this. Let's see. Do I need to cut down a little bit? Maybe so. But I still want to show that green. That green is really, really nice. Okay, and it actually works within the parameters of this one here, so yeah, why not? So let's see, I could go ahead, I will cut this. Okay, let me set that aside, and that there, and put that on top. That looks nice like that. I actually did like that. You can make it more jaggedy, more ripped, stretch it out more. That's what's great about working with lace or fabric ribbons like that. Now I'm going to continue putting my hot glue gun, but this one you can use like a Fabri-Tac, and Fabri-Tac will work really well. You just have to allow it to dry, but it won't be like as hot or as dangerous, you know, for your. Oh, see, that's nice. And that didn't even take any time whatsoever. Now, I can add like a doily in the back. I can add like another background piece in the back to really make it stand out. That looks beautiful against the blue. Here we go. That looks really, really nice. And I believe it'll still be within the parameters of the book. Okay, so yeah, why not? Let's go ahead and do that. Let's see if I could try to... I'll cut the top of this part, and hopefully that'll work out. There we go. And then I'll hot glue that to here, even because I'm working with the fabric, that's why it's better. Okay, let's move that over a bit, and then I can cut that straight. There we go. Perfect. I love that. I actually like that a lot. Okay, and do I have any other things? I have these, still these right here. That'll look nice. I can add that to it, or I can add like a flower to it. Oh, that's cute. That is adorable. Oh, why not? Let's just do that. Let's just go for it. It's there. Sometimes you have to listen to your instincts. Oh, I don't want to do it on top of the, I don't want to do it on top of the green. I really want that green to show. Okay, and I'm going to squish this down a little bit. Some people, when they have like these flowers right here, these roses, the wire, you know, it's great that you can put it all together and then twist it around and everything, but I don't like to cut them off. I like to like take my my chopsticks or my pencil or just something thin and round and kind of create like a little swirly thing. And yeah, make it look nice and pretty. Those two will look nice as well. Look at that. Two different colors. Let's see. Oh, I have this one that I made a little, well, I could show you how to make the swirly things. It's really, really simple. Okay, so you take this and you take like, let's say a thin piece of your chopsticks or skewers. That'll work really well as also because the skewers are a little thicker than toothpicks, but thinner than the chopsticks. So you kind of have like a happy medium right there. I'm gonna add this here. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay, and do I want to add like a dab of, add a little bit of bling to it? I can. Or, oh, that kind of looks cute right there. Let me see about this one. This has more, this is a little bit more pearl, so we'll add that, even though I may have just added a lot of hot glue right there. Let's make it work. There we go. Ooh, another thing that would look really well, I don't have it ready for you though, is if you have wax seal. Oh, that would look super good. That, oh my God, I'm so sorry to keep shaking that. Okay, folks, well, there you have it. So now it's choices. So let me know in the comments, which one do you prefer? Do you prefer, here's my book plates. Do you prefer book plate number 1, book plate number 2, or book plate number 3? There we go. I would love to hear what your thoughts are. Thank you so much for joining me, and you have a great day. Until next time, bye-bye.